Unlike any other countries like Thailand, Vietnam, China is really a different level for backpacking. It's really complicated. Why? Google, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and other social media platforms, TikTok doesn't work. I have to research a lot about it. What apps should I download and things I need to consider when flying to this country. Usually I don't research about that because I travel non-stop. But I really have long preparation before flying here in China. So what did I do? How did I get here? First, I applied for a visa. As a Filipino traveler, you need to apply for a visa. Before applying to China, I already been to lots of Southeast Asian countries and East Asian countries. When I applied for other countries like Japan, Korea, South Korea, it's not really complicated. They don't require me to book a two-way ticket, but when I was applying for Chinese visa, they allowed me to book a round-trip ticket and I have to make an itinerary, although it's required to other country, but here I have to have specific hotel booking on that particular date. You have to have your name on it. China is so huge and I just have to pick some certain locations since I'm not a city girl and I want to explore the mountainside. But since it's my first time, maybe I should just explore the touristy side. So I decided to just pick a certain spot and choose Zhangjiaje. So I started in Zhangjiaje and decided that maybe I will end up in Chengdu because I don't want to travel the entire country. Like, I don't have much budget for that and I want slow travel, like not moving for 3 days, like staying in one location. So I choose Zhangjiaje, Chongqing, and Chengdu. If you're gonna make an itinerary or flight booking, make sure to pick some certain spot first before actually booking a flight. So I booked a flight through Skyscanner where you can find the cheapest flight on that certain destination, Manila, Bangkok to Zhangjiajie. Although you can book flight from Manila to Zhangjiajie with layover in Guangzhou. I already got my visa. I think it only takes 4 days for me to have it. Also, they're really strict. Like, if you send the itinerary for 14 days, they will only allow you for a 14-day visa. Finally, flying to China, but that's not really like other countries that you just have to go and okay, everything is so. What did I do? First, I applied for a VPN because in order to access my social media, which is part of my work, I have to have a social media. What I did is I downloaded a VPN. It's called ExpressVPN. I'm gonna put the link in the description here. And bought an eSIM before into China. So once I arrived here, it's not gonna be hassle. What I did is I bought an eSIM, but what I did is I didn't activate it before I arrived in China. So can't connect to their Wi-Fi because I don't have the local number. When I arrived in Shanghai airport, it's really different because it's not a big airport. I arrived at night, so I cannot buy a SIM card. They don't speak English. So it took me an hour to go out. Since Google Maps works or doesn't work here, I'm so lucky that I'm using an Apple device. So an Apple Map really works here. You can read it. So what I usually do is I translate all the address in Chinese, but then I still double check if the address is the same to it says to the caption. Complicated because I have to translate everything, like all the single address, make sure if I book it right, if the address is the same. So that's what I usually do. I message first the accommodation, like how do I get there, so I won't be stressed once I arrive at there. I message them and ask them the address, but then the problem is I don't really have an eSIM that time, so I was really struggling. And yeah, I found the address. I already downloaded the app. I have Didi, they're like Grab. I have Alipay. I already made an Alipay account, which makes you pay for a certain thing you need. Like everything in China, it's all cashless. I haven't used cash in my entire trip here, so everything is cashless already. I just took a cab. Good thing the taxi is not that so expensive here. I think it's cheaper than the Philippines. So I only paid around $4 for a 30-minute ride, so it's not really expensive and it's really affordable. I cannot find a hostel in this area. Usually I stay in a hostel to ask tips for backpackers because I don't really have concrete plan, and those backpackers have wide experience already from their previous trip or their upcoming trip, so I really want to ask. And usually I book a hostel because the receptionist knows English. They can help me plan my trip, and it only cost me around 1,000 pesos for a private room. So unlike any East Asian countries like South Korea and Japan I visited, they have more expensive accommodation for me, so I find it cheaper here to have my own private room. I already got the accommodation, and the thing is, I don't know how to navigate and how do I get to the place that I want to go. So I always ask the receptionist, how do I get there? Although I already researched, but I just want to clarify if it's right. I booked a ticket to Changmen Mountain, one of the famous attractions in Zhangjiajie. It's really convenient. You can book online through Klook. You can purchase to the receptionist, or you can just buy a ticket. Actually, there's no much price difference, but also if you want to purchase in Klook, you can use this code for a discount. So yeah, after arriving there, I just allotted a chill day. The mass hub apps in China are the following. Alipay is the #1 to pay for anything you buy at restaurant, even street vendors, they already use Alipay. In VPN, I use ExpressPay. So I use ExpressVPN. After researching a lot, I think this is one of the most okay when it comes to China. So you can use my code if you're gonna avail it here. If you're gonna avail it. And I use an eSIM.com. I use an eSIM.lu, which makes you feel connected wherever you are. It's so great. Like, they have unlimited data, and this is my code if you want. And this is my code to get a discount for your next visit. I also downloaded WeChat, but I was having a hard time to register. So I don't know why, because I don't have a physical SIM card. I think you should apply for WeChat before flying here, because I cannot get an OTP. Tip.dd is the one I use for booking taxi. I also use Baidu Maps. This is like your version of Google Maps, but since Apple Way works for me, I use it. And Baidu for me is written in English, so I was having a hard time. And Trip.com, I use it mainly for booking transportation. I think that's all, and I think you're good to go. When it comes to transportation, I'm really amazed with how everything is accessible. Like, you can take bus, you can take trains, you can take high-speed train. So everything is so nice. So I just have a platform for booking, Trip.com, and for train, you don't have to buy ticket anymore. You just have to scan your phone through Alipay, so it's just really convenient. But the challenge is everything is written in Chinese, so I always use Google Translate to translate everything. And I think it's just some logic, like navigating to your certain country. You just have to know where you're going, what's the endpoint train of this location, so you know where to go, which exit you're going. For me, when I was using Apple Map, it really helps me to give direction. I don't have to ask anymore for the local. I just have to type where I'm going. Example, I'm going to this specific location, and they will, which train should I get, and what's the estimate time if I'm gonna take this train, or if I'm gonna take this station, if I'm gonna take this line. So it's really convenient, and it's really, I don't know how it works for Android. Google Maps is not reliable here, so I won't really trust using Google Maps. And also Metro Traveler, he said to me that he was using this app called Translate, and there's another one app to translate all the things in English, like even if it's written in Chinese. So I don't know a specific thing about that. Yeah, so for the subway, I just use Trip.com. I book it in advance because there's so many population here in China, so everything has to be booked like 3 days before, because if you book it like 1 day before, it's gonna be fully booked or it's gonna be more expensive. So it's better to plan ahead. So I allot like days like this to just do nothing and plan for the next one and just chill out from my previous days. For taxi, I'm really surprised that it's so affordable. So I usually just book a taxi whenever I don't want to walk for 8 kilometers, and it's charged me around $2 for Didi app. Although I only visited 3 parts of China, I can really say that it's really diverse. And I think it's the most unique landscape that I've seen so far in my life, because I haven't traveled outside Asia. And it's really convenient. You just have to deal with crowd, because once you go to the tourist spots, once you go to the accessible part, expect that there will be a lot of people in there, so you have to deal with it always. I think my realization for this entire trip is to travel slow. Just pick certain location. You don't have to do it all. Plan in advance, research in advance. This is not a country where you can be spontaneous. I mean, you can, but you have to kind of research something before flying here. And it's gonna be hard, but once you've been here, really a totally different world. Like things you've seen on social media, it's not the entire representation of of the country. And it's only a portion. It's so huge. It's the second largest country in the world. And I think everyone should visit China. Describable. Advice for solo travelers out there. If you're gonna visit to China, don't start in here. Maybe you try to visit first, do backpacking in Thailand, or do some trip in Korea or Japan first before flying here. So you have an idea on things you should do and things you have to prepare if you're traveling solo. So I think for me, solo traveling is, of course, once you travel a lot, it's gonna build up, and it won't end up here. Everything is a lesson. Every time you travel, you're gonna learn something. If you found this helpful, questions about me, feel free to message it, comment it below, and I hope you subscribe on my channel and follow for more adventures. Bye!